So right now we're going to come and take a look and say, what if you want to have a contextual drill down on project level? So how do we do that? And it's quite straightforward. We come in, build a new report again, and this time we will call it project.selected. So again, we select the data source, which is our projects. Okay, so in this case, we don't want to return all the columns because there's way too much information. We probably want the project name, we want the category, we want the department, we want the scope, we want who is the person who requested it, what is the budget, plan start, plan finish, probably the status, and the project manager. So once we have saved this information, we can come in and the system will allow us to select only that selected information. And now we choose a new view, it's called the layout view, which enable us to take our content and turn it into a column instead of rows, instead of columns. So in this case, this would be my project details, and I will come in and I will do a custom layout, and it will give me all the scripting. So here you have, these are HTML code of the entire system. So I can come in and I can change this whole thing from the column, width, and what have you. So I can now go in, once I finish changing this, so I've changed all this list, I can come in. I will be able to come in and say, look, I want to limit it such that it will only show me for a particular project. In this case, it is when I assign to a parameter called project ID. So I will limit this view to only one single project. I don't need any menu, and I will take away the paging, and I will save this. So from the detail setting, I don't want to have the toolbar, and I will be able to save this Webparts. Once I put this to a Webpart, I can load it to a new page. In this case, I will call this my project workspace. So I can say this is my category, it's under my project workspace, where I can keep all the details of a project. I can decide how I want to lay out, save this, and I can then drop my web part into this page. So in this case, I'll put it into my header, and that is my project details. And I will just set it into the title section. Once I'm in there, now I have this, but I need to connect this project workspace page to my project listing. So I come into my project listing, I select my layout format, and I will say if I click on this project name, I want to go into the link. So here enables me to see more details, and one of the options I have is this whole process of setting a link, and I can come in and I can say, hey, this is going to go into my page in my system, and it's going to be called my project image space, and it is smart enough to know that I have a transaction ID which I have to pass in the ID. Of course, I can select from my data column, and that's the first column. I pass that into my system, and I am done. So when I save this, okay, so let's say we want to now manage all the documents for a particular project. How do we do that? Well, once again, we come back to our system, and we can link up a document library to a project. So I'm going to just pull from my list of documents, and I will just link this into, I will call this my documentations, and I will link this into my system, right? And once again, these documents will come in. So I can look at my project and let me understand how we build this how do we build the relationship. So this will be my project documentation ERD, and the system will come in and I will say, well, we have projects and we have documents. So I have a field which is the project ID. So this will identify all the projects have documents. And to make it more interesting, my projects have categories. So I have a project category, and we'll say that is of category. So I can categorize my different set of documents. And this is my documents ERD. It tells me how everything is related. I can save this, and that's part of my solution. So now I come in, I go into my system, and I will get all the documents for a project. So to do that, I just put project.documents, and this is just part of the project workspace area, and I will select my document. In this case, there is a list called documents, right? So once I have all these documents, I save that, and I will now show you all the documents that I have. So in this case, my documents, I want to show the icon. I want to show the name of the file. I want to show the title. And I want to show the status and the category. So to make it fun, I can come in and I can specify who is it created. I can specify this in the menu option that I can upload a new document, and when I upload a document, I will pass the project ID. It's equal to the param project ID. Now I will set my permission, and in my permission, I will let them be able to view, let them be able to edit, upload, and preview the document as well, and as well as download that list. Okay? So the first thing is I need to make sure I have a condition, and in this case, this condition is going to be around this field called document ID, project ID, and it's going to be my parameter that I put in earlier, which is project ID, so that I can show you only those project files that is in there. Now, when I save this, it will be able to help me to push this parameter into my listing, into my project workspace. So I select my project workspace, I set it on the title bar, zone 2, and I'll call this project documents. I want to show it, and I am done. Now, to make sure it is working properly, I will, when you submit a document, I want to make sure when you update the documents, properties, I want to make sure you give it a proper title. This project ID is going to be getting from my parameter. And the status, the category, everything is in there. And I'm just going to come in and put in here, and that's going to be done. So I've just created my list, and I will save this document onto the system. So once I'm here, now I can refresh, and it will give me my ability to put my documents, right? And when I am done, I can come in and say upload a document. In this case, I will just put in a picture file. Let's say we have a Christmas greeting, okay? And we will call this our Merry Christmas announcement, and this is justification for this is a proof, and I will save this, and that document will come into my system. And once I've uploaded it, it will gladly show it here, and I will be able to view my document. Merry Christmas, everybody.